This is your first assignment on projection of points. There are 8 problems in projection of points which you have to solve on 8 A4 size sheets. Now for some instructions. This is the first problem which I have already solved. That is, draw the projections. These are projections of 4 points A, B, C, D. A is 30 mm above HP and 35 mm in front of VP. So the front view A dash and the top view A, 30 mm, 35 mm, these are the projections. It is in the first quadrant. Now B is in the second quadrant, so both the views are on one side, on this side of the XY line, and D is in the fourth quadrant, therefore both the views are on this side of XY line. Point C is not in any one of the quadrant, but it is lying on it's lying on VP, and it is common to the first and the second quadrant. All this is very simple, though it looks a little confusing. You can go through the videos once again and you will be able to understand. Now the method of drawing. Every A4 size sheet that you are drawing on should have the border, 10 mm border, and the title block here, that should be in 2B pencil, then with 3 rows and the details here, the name of the university, your name, first semester, section, roll number, 2020 should be neatly written. It should not be in your own handwriting, but I think most of you all have got a good hand, but those of you who do not must practice this lettering, very nice lettering in 2B, and write it out neatly, because all these sheets are to be submitted once you come to the university. Till then, online your sheets will be submitted, evaluated and graded. But remember that once you come to the university, you have to submit the sheets, and there are 6 chapters: projection of points, projection of lines, projection of planes, projection of solids, development of surfaces, and isometric projection. And in each of these chapters you have assignments of 8 problems each. That is, every chapter there are assignments of 8 problems to be solved on 8 A4 size sheets separately. So now coming back to the first problem, remember, you do not have to write this once again. This is the statement of the problem. You only have to write one and then solve the problem. So how do you start? You draw the XY line and then draw the projections of A, B, C, D equally spaced. They should not be too close to each other nor too far. It should look good. Then as this is projection of points, you should know what to highlight. Here you are highlighting the points. That is, this is the front view and this is the top view, so that should be highlighted in 2B. A dash and A also in 2B, thick and dark, should be seen clearly. The XY line, the projectors, the dimension line, that is, these are the 2 extension lines, as well as the dimension line, which is the arrow, should be in 4H pencil. But the dimension itself, which is 30 and 35, should be in 2B. So I'll go through that once again. This is very important, where you have to use the 4H pencil and where you have to use the 2B pencil. So this is 4H, this is 4H. The extension lines, these are the extension lines, 4H. The dimension line with the arrows, again 4H, but the dimension itself is in 2B. Then the 2 points, front view and top view, 2B, A dash and A, 2B, and then all this is in 2B, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant. So this is very simple. These are done in AutoCAD, but we are not using AutoCAD this semester. We will be drawing everything with paper and pencil. So some changes here. The dimensions that you're writing here with the dimension line, that is the extension line and the dimension line, should not be, this distance should not be too far nor too close. It should look good. If it is too close, it will not look good. If it's very, very far, that also will not look good. So you have to judge and maintain a uniform distance throughout. If both the dimensions are only on one side, the distance approximately should be the same, not too close, not too far. Now the other thing here is, in AutoCAD, these arrows are automatically filled, but you're not supposed to fill them because it will not look good on paper. So with the pencil, you're not supposed to fill the arrows. Draw very nice uniform arrows. Don't do it casually, but do not fill this up. So it should be a nice arrow, not spread out too much. It should be close to the dimension line. Then the other thing is, the dimensions here automatically are aligned. That means they come in line, written this way. But you need not write it this way. You can write 30 as usual horizontally and 35 also horizontally, and also need not mention the precision. Don't write 30.0 or 35.0. You write 30 and 35. Similarly here 40 and 35. So that will be the projections. Once you do that, then you have to mention the quadrants in which they lie. Do not write this casually, because after doing this neatly, you write this casually. If they are not written in a parallel line, then it will spoil the drawing. So how do you write this neatly? You have to draw two parallel lines which are not too far apart, and with those guidelines in 2B you have to write first quadrant, second quadrant, and all these right under each of these projections, and that will be that. Okay, so once again, do not whenever you take an A4 size sheet, fix it on the table, get hold of your instruments, sharpen the pencils, draw the border 10 mm from all the sides. Then this is the title block 80 mm, 888 mm, within which, before you fill in the details, draw those parallel lines with 4H pencil and write it out. This has to be done on every A4 size sheets before you start the drawing. Do not rewrite this. You can just write one and then start solving at the center. This is the XY line, and solve the problem. That is the first problem. It is done approximately at the center. Now remember the sizes that you have to use. It should not be too big nor too small, approximately of this size. If you write first quadrant, second quadrant, and so on, big letters, then it's going to spoil the drawing. So everything should be uniform. If you write 30 and 35 and all of a sudden write 40 of a huge size, it will again spoil the drawing. So all letters, take care that all letters would be of the uniform size. So this will be your first problem. If you have not got hold of your instruments, if you have not got all your drawing instruments, then try to get them as quickly as possible, but till then you can do it in rough, because drawing requires a lot of practice, and I'm sure within a week you'll be able to draw well. Now when you draw the lines, if you are too slow, then you're not going to get a consistent line. You should draw in bold, quick strokes. So these strokes are very important. Give uniform pressure throughout and try to develop that good handwriting or lettering. So the when we come to the second problem, this is similar to the first problem, and here these are 4 more points, E, F, G, H. You solve it in the same way. Once again, for the second sheet, you have to draw the border, the title block, fill in the details, just write do not write this, start with the XY line and solve the problem, and also below you write the quadrants in which they lie. Then let us come to the third problem. This was solved by me already. So here so that is the third problem. If you remember, there are 2 points. There was a point P and a point Q at different locations. So P is on HP and 35 mm in front of VP, Q is on VP and below HP. This distance was not given. You start with the XY line, mark P dash P, then the line joining the top views, this is at 45 degrees, the line joining the front view is at 30 degrees. So once you mark P dash P, then you mark this line, it hits the XY line, you draw this line, 30 degree line, then you're going to get Q dash. This problem is already solved. You can refer the video lecture of mine if you do not remember that. So you can refer to the video lecture once more. Then I'll tell you how you do it. As this is a very small size problem, still you have to center it, draw the XY line, draw all these, and once again take care of the thick and thin lines, the use of 2B and 4H pencil. Here you see that in AutoCAD it is marked in a different way. It will take up its own style, but to mark the angles you have to draw a nice arc here. You can use the compass and draw a nice arc and mark the arrows, and this 30 degrees is going to come here. Similarly, you have to draw a nice arc which is not too close, not too far, and both these arcs must be at the same distances, and do not fill the arrows. This 45 degrees is going to come down. So you have to remember that. That is the difference. Another thing is why this you have to measure this and put it in a box. Why do you put it in a box? It is understood that this dimension was not given. You're supposed to find it out. So in the problem, the distance of Q below HP was asked. So this is that distance which you have to find out. Then there's another similar problem here, that is problem number 4, which is similar to the previous problem. Here the new thing is the distance between their projections is 50 mm. Again, there are 2 points P and Q. Slightly different problem, similar to the problem number 3. So I'll tell you about this. The distance between their projections is 50 mm. So here, this is the projector through P and this is the projector through Q. This distance from this to this distance between the two projectors parallel to the XY line is called as the distance between the projectors. So you can remember this. This is 50. Read the problem properly and then you have to solve this. Okay. Then coming to the 5th problem, these are different types. That is the second type of problem in projection of points, and I think these type of problems are solved in projections of points part 2. 3 views of the points are to be plotted. That is, in this case, the front view, top view, and the left view, which is coming on the right profile plane. So there's a point 30 mm above HP, 30 mm in front of VP, 40 mm above HP, and 50 from RPP. So obviously it is in the first quadrant. How do you start this? I have drawn it in different colors, but on paper with pencils, you have the choice of using only thick and thin pencil, that is with 2B and 4H. So the XY line, the X1 Y1 line, the projectors, the dimensions, all with the 4H pencil. The points with A dash, A double dash, and the dimension, that is 40, 30, and all this with 2B pencil. So that difference has to be maintained. If you draw everything with the 2B pencil, then it's going to spoil the drawing. Now here, this one problem I'll tell you. Again, do not write this. Do not write the statement. Just write 5. Not very big, not small, but in the same size. Start drawing the XY line. Then A dash, A, that is 40 and 30, then 50, and draw the X1 Y1 line. Then if you remember how to go into the side view, there will be a straight projector from the front view, which is A dash. The projector from the top view will always bend after hitting a 45-degree line. So you have to draw the 45-degree line, draw a projector from this, take it on top, and you are going to get A double dash. After this, you dimension this properly. You need not write X, Y, X1, Y1 and all that. This much is sufficient. The dimensions for the side view also need not be written because they are understood. Now, what do you do after drawing these projections? What is the use of drawing these projections? See, given the statement, you have to imagine the point and draw this. Now, you should be able to read this drawing. If only this was given to you, you should go back and visualize that point, which is very, very simple. Now here, this is the VP because it is the front view. This is the HP, it is the top view, and this is the RPP. So you can fold these and reconstruct or visualize the first quadrant, and you'll be able to visualize that point. So that is the whole concept, the whole purpose of this. The 3D image is converted into 2D, you make the drawing. Then you read the drawing, you convert the 2D image back into 3D, you're going to visualize that. So there are similar problems here. Point is placed in each one of these quadrants. This is 5. This is problem 6. Here. Then this is problem 7. And this is the problem number 8. So again, a few of these 8 problems are solved as sample problems. The others you have to do it by yourself, which is very, very simple. Your first assignment, 8 problems on projection of points. Each problem has to be done on an A4 size sheets very, very neatly, and these are to be submitted online as assignments. I will give you the instructions in a couple of days time. You have to procure your instruments, get all the instruments and keep it ready, and till then you can start solving the problems in rough. And once you get your instruments, do it fair, and then submit the problems.